3 minutes is up.
And that's it. That's it. Full time. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a moment for Jurgen Klopp. What a moment for Liverpool. Fully deserved in extra time. Chelsea miles off it in extra time. What a moment for Liverpool Football Club. They are the winners of the Carabao Cup, and them young players should be fully proud of themselves. But what a moment for Virgil van Dijk. Stepped up massive time in the dying moments of it to win it for his team.
You know what I want to say
Incredible.
as well, Tom? Another lot that have stepped up. These Liverpool fans, and you can't always hear it, especially when you're sort of listening, you know, on the television and we're getting it. You could hear those Liverpool fans loud and proud. They did not stop. And the way they got behind their team, obviously, we know that the Liverpool fans are famous for their support, but they stepped up big time today as well.
He'd be kicking himself, Pochettino. Sleepless nights he should have. That team talk that he's had going into extra time didn't get enough out of his group of players. You are not going to get a better opportunity to beat Liverpool in a final, down to the bare bones, all your players fit, going at the opportunity to beat them in half hour of a football match with your best team out there, and they didn't lay a glove on Liverpool in extra time. Absolutely bottled it, Chelsea. Bottled it.
And Courtney, how fitting is it that Virgil van Dijk scored the winner? One, because he had a brilliant performance, but two, it was very controversial, the goal that was ruled out that he scored.
Yeah, it was, but you, as a player on that pitch at that moment in time, you have to put that behind you. I thought it was controversial. I didn't think it should have been counted out, but there you go. He's not sitting there feeling sorry for himself, resting on his laurels. He's put in a good performance, massive defensively. After he scored the goal, I think I mentioned it, took one in the face, and look at that reaction. And I tell you what, because of the way they've done this, the way that they've brought the academy players through, this will mean as much as any other trophy to Jurgen Klopp. It really will.
And again, on those young players, Jamie, I know we've mentioned them a lot, but can you just imagine, this is the start of their career, and they're getting this high so early. The experience will surely help them so much throughout their whole careers.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's that winning mentality that's instilled in at Liverpool Football Club. You know, you expect to win every game. Expect to win it, and it's drilled into them from a young age. And, you know, they've stepped up today. They've gone into that game. They didn't show any fear. They didn't walk on that pitch thinking, oh, my God, I'm coming on against Chelsea in a Carabao Cup final, you know, walking out there a bit nervous. Not one of them did. Every one of them wanted the ball. Everyone wanted them to get involved in the game, worked hard, had more energy in Chelsea. And that just shows the standards that have been set at Liverpool Football Club. And, you know, look, it might be Klopp leaving at the end of the season, but he's leaving behind a group of young players who can go on and do great things for his football club. They've got a trophy under their belt, you know, in the Carabao Cup, and as Courtney said, she's right. This will mean as much to Jurgen Klopp as some of the Champions Leagues that they've won, because he's done it with a group of players who are young kids who have come through that academy system and have stepped up in a massive moment at Wembley against a decent Chelsea side. And Chelsea will absolutely be kicking themselves.
Courtney, what can this do to Liverpool's confidence when it comes to the title race? They're fighting on a few fronts, in fact, to win trophies this season. But in terms of the title race, they weren't in Premier League action this weekend, but Arsenal and Manchester City were, and they both won. So Liverpool, had they lost this game, that could have, of course, really affected them, having fallen behind in the league and then not won the trophy. However, they've won this trophy now. Can this be a positive for them in terms of the title race as well?
Yeah, and I think if they had have lost this, it would have been easier, to be honest, to say, look, depleted squad, lots of injuries. Because of that, we probably didn't go in as favourites. Chelsea have picked up form, but the fact that against the odds on paper, and this is why we love football, because it isn't played on paper, it's played at Wembley, and what an incredible final. But the fact is, they've won it. Jurgen Klopp will learn a lot from his players, both his senior players and the players that he's brought through. It will give those players so much confidence to know that when the chips are down, when they need to battle, when they've got injuries, that they can produce performances like that. And as I said, what I really want to, really push home is, this wasn't the fact that they sat there and they defended and then they got lucky and they got one on the break. They took this game to Chelsea, so it's going to give them no end of confidence. Look, they're still going to struggle because of the injuries and the relentlessness of the Premier League, but the confidence and the feeling within that club when they go back to the training ground will be massive, and it's something that really will push them forward.
They had more possession, Jamie. They had more shots. They had pretty much more of everything. And you've been saying how they deserve it. It's the 10th time they've won this trophy, by the way. They already have won it more than anyone else, with Manchester City having won it 8 times, but Liverpool now have won it 10 times. And you can see how much this means to Klopp. He is going at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But moments like this will live with him forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's not regretting his decision just yet, but this is what football can do to the fans, the players and the manager.
It doesn't look like he's got no energy left, does it?
Yeah.
You know, the way he's celebrating. And look, he's a massive loss to the Premier League. We'd be gutted to see him go. You know, rival clubs would love to see him leave because he has been unbelievable for this football club, where he's took it. You know, they were an average side, Liverpool, when he took over. You know, scraping, getting into European places, and he's took them to become one of the best teams in the country, fighting it out with Manchester City every season. And look, you know, what he's done is just took this club up to a level. He's set a standard now throughout the football club. Look at these young players that he's bringing through, and they've set in standards of you go out on that football pitch and nothing less than wins is acceptable. And they showed that. They played with that mentality out on the football pitch. And you know, I'm just, you know, watching these young players. They look so young, some of them, 18 years of age. And he's instilled confidence in them that they go out and they play like that in an extra time game. I tell you what, Chelsea should be ashamed of themselves. They had such a big opportunity to win this game and they've thrown it away.
For Klopp, it's the second time he's won the EFL Cup. He's won the Champions League, he's won the FIFA Club World Cup, the Premier League, the European Super Cup, the FA Cup, the Community Shield, and he is still in more trophies between now and the end of the season as well. And Courtney, if you look at these pictures, or these players played, they've got their Liverpool shirts on. A lot of players are in their Liverpool tracksuits that weren't available, like Salah, like Nunez, like Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, you can see Gravenberch there on crutches, who went off injured in that first half. Another injury for them. And how much is that down to with all these players missing, they've still won. How much is that down to the manager, sorry?
Well, it's really important, whether it be Jurgen Klopp, whether it be Pep Linders, the messages don't change. And this is why don't get me wrong, it's not easy to step in, but it's made easier for these players to step into those roles because there's a clear philosophy, a clear way of playing, you know your roles and responsibilities. And the biggest thing is, you're not sitting there thinking, oh, well, you know, the manager's only picking me because he has to. Obviously, there's an element of that. But Jurgen Klopp has shown time and time and again, he puts faith in the youth. And that's fantastic for people to see in general, but for those players to see that week in, week out. And you know what I absolutely loved? Every time the camera panned to Jurgen Klopp, he was smiling. Even in the difficult moments of the game, he had a smile on his face. And we were speaking earlier about how hard it is to take in big moments in your career, and at the time you don't really do it. But actually, I think Jurgen Klopp was, and he was looking at, you know, the pride upon his players, with pride and smiling and enjoying the moment and knowing that he leaves this football club in a far better place than when he arrived.
We'll get to the trophy lift in a moment, because you can see that the runners-up are going up there now. Yeah, that's the Chelsea players going up. But in the meantime, let's hear from the match winner, Virgil van Dijk.
Congratulations. Just watching you look around, take this all in, what does it mean?
So much. All the young boys on the pitch. If you see the extra time, it's incredible. I'm so proud of the team. Intense game for both sides. They had chances, we had chances, and amazing. First trophy as a Liverpool captain. It's all for the fans, so let's enjoy it.
You've had some really big moments with this Liverpool side. As you mentioned there, everyone has played their part. But for you, how did it feel to be on the bottom of that pile of players, knowing it was you that found the winner?
I didn't want to get injured there. So I tried to get up a little bit quick, but I couldn't. Nah, listen, it's emotion, it's everything, and yeah, I'm so proud of the boys, you know, and see all the young boys, you know, making their playing their part in what we achieved today. It's incredible, and yeah, on to more.
Virgil van Dijk there, who scored the winning goal. But Jamie, just before we heard from you, you said this is the longest walk in football, and even worse, I suppose, for Chelsea, given that they conceded so late.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously it's awful. I've done that walk as a winner, as a loser, and it is awful when you're walking up them steps. Pochettino, he looks absolutely down and out, and the players taking that walk thinking that they were a few minutes away from penalties and possibly winning at the game. They'll be kicking themselves. Experienced players in that side, a lot of talent in that team, and they did not show up in extra time, and they did not deserve to win the Carabao Cup final in the end. And look, it was an even game in the 90 minutes, and you'd say Chelsea probably had the better opportunities. But when it come down to it, in the dying moments of the game, Liverpool looked like the team that was going to score, and they took their opportunity and stepped up in a big moment. But that walk haunts you, and they'll be having sleepless nights after that.
Yeah, and Courtney, especially for Pochettino, who it's always levelled at him. His time at Tottenham got a lot of praise, but didn't win a trophy. This one, for a lot of this match, it looked like they were favourites to win this one. How much will it hurt him personally?
It'll huge. It'll be devastating. And as I mentioned, I think this could be very detrimental to the rest of Chelsea's season. If Liverpool went on and they lost, not there's excuses, that's the wrong way to put it, but you look at it and think, you know, probably the underdogs, lots of injuries, young players on the pitch, you could understand why, but it was in Chelsea's hands. But for me, Liverpool just looked like they wanted it more, and it goes back to that winning mentality that man there, Jurgen Klopp, has installed within this club, and it doesn't matter whether it's the first team or whether it's the academy and the youth setup. You could see that willingness to want to go and win, not to be given it, not to try and win it on penalties, to want to go and win the game. And I think for Mauricio Pochettino, it's a massive blow, and you're probably questioning now like his position at the football club potentially because of the way that they lost it.
Okay, well, here's the Liverpool players led by the match winner and captain Virgil van Dijk.
That's the best walk in football now.
Yeah, I was just going to say completely opposite to Chelsea there. The Liverpool fans, by the way, none of them will have left their seats, of course, as they await lifting this EFL Cup, which they've won it in the 119th minute of the game, and right to the end of extra time when Kostas Tsimikas' corner from the right-hand side was swung in with his left foot, and Virgil van Dijk wanted it more and nodded it past the Chelsea goalkeeper, which meant that Liverpool have won the trophy. Jurgen Klopp's making his way up. And fans absolutely loving Klopp. Liverpool fans understandably so upset that Klopp is leaving at the end of the season, but he's making sure that he's got a few parting gifts for them. The first, potentially, of a few of those parting gifts is an EFL Cup win. It's